Welcome to All Things Whitetail. It's August the 17th and it's time to determine how much growth we got from our GroPal application, the foliar sea mineral that we put on several weeks ago. We got some utilization cages. We're going to actually show some measurements. I've got the tape measure already set up. That is the non-GroPal side. This is the GroPal cage, and you can see a visible difference, but we're going to take some measurements and just show to everybody what we got. This is a Whitetail Institute Clover and Chickory plot. This is one of our main plots. It's actually doing fantastic. I'm getting great pictures of all kinds of deer in this. They're bedding down in it at night when they're feeding, even in the daytime. And we think this is going to be a good hot spot for us come this fall. But we're going to take some measurements. I got a board here, and we'll pick some of the plants out of each of the cages and take some measurements, and then that'll be the telltale sign. Again, this is the GroPal cage, and that is the non-GroPal. Just looking at the video, I'm sure you can't see the difference, but I took some measurements early on, and we've got about a 2-inch difference is what I'm estimating right now. So we'll go through the process. Stay with us and see what you think. Okay, we're set up here. We've got this is the non-GroPal side, and I've got the tape measure set up. And just so everybody, I'm hitting ground there. I'm all the way down, so nobody can say that we're not taking an accurate measurement. I'm going to zoom in on this so you guys can see it, and I'm actually going to take some photos too. But it looks like you can see this plant here. I'm looking mainly at the clover as far as that growth. The chicory's kind of sporadic between the two. Chicory kind of doesn't grow even anyway for the most part. Not that once it starts topping out like this and going to seed, but you can see here we're about at 15 inches is what we've got, in between 15 and 16. So I'll zoom in on it so you guys can take a look. Alright, let's zoom in on this here. You can see there's 15 inches. Again, this is the non-GroPal side. Now we'll move over to the GroPal side. We're now in the grow side of the field in this utilization cage, and I'll zoom in here, but just so everybody can see, I've got this all the way down onto the ground. We're right at 17 inches. We'll pull the cages. I'll take some samples. We'll put them on the board. We'll take some more video of that, and I'll show the difference between the two. I wanted to zoom in before I pull the utilization cages. Again, we're on the GroPal side. And you can see there we're in between 17 and 18 inches. And now we'll take our samples from the cages. We're ready to pull our utilization cages. I'm going to take the tape measure out, put it in the center of the board that we have, and then I'll take samples from each one, and we'll just let the film roll while we're doing it. Try to get some roots if I can. So you see there I got a little bit of roots. This is the GroPal side. And we'll try to take the measurements from where I broke them off. I'll pull some chicory. Nice chicory plant right here. Wasn't able to get any root, but I can at least see that? Nice plant. Now the non-GroPal side. is our clover sample. Got a few roots. Now for the chicory sample. Okay, now we'll take our measurements. I'll set up the camera so you guys can, actually we'll just let it roll. Hang tight. To me, to the naked eye, the GroPal looks a little bit better, looks a little taller, looks a little greener. I'll let you guys kind of judge that. Take some measurements here. So from the roots right there all the way to the tip, right in between 20 and 21 inches. 20 to 21 inches. On the clover side, on the chicory, chicory's going to be interesting actually. The longest leaf is right at 20 inches. Okay, the non-GroPal side, chicory did a little better. Right at 22, maybe a little bigger than 22 on the clover. We got one that's looks like it kind of spidered out a little bit. It's growing too. About 22 inches. Majority of the plants are right at 17, other than this one outlier that's obviously a lot longer. You can see it's grown. It's had some growth here. For the most part, this cluster is right around, if we just go from the cluster to there, it's in between 15 and 17 inches. So, I'm sure we'll get a lot of comments on this, just as when we started it and we were taking the measurements or the actual counts for the deer. There were a lot of comments about how I was doing it. I'll let you guys draw your own conclusions. I think on the clover side of it, I think the GroPal did a lot better. The chicory, there wasn't a whole lot of chicory in that cage for some reason, but it looks kind of even between the two. So you guys can make your judgment on that. But on the clover side, I think the clover looks a lot healthier from the GroPal. It seems to be a lot longer, a little bit greener to me. And this cluster here, I took this out of the middle, and I don't know. I think the GroPal works. We got a couple inches, at least in the cage, and I'm going to continue to use it. In fact, I've already sprayed it today on some of the other fields that I have, and we'll see how it goes. But I appreciate your time. Thanks for joining us at All Things Whitetail. Like us on Facebook, and keep checking back on our blog regularly, and we appreciate your time.